All right, now here we go. Technical
Okay.
difficulties are over. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm sorry we're starting 3 minutes late. But again, here we go. I'm Jason Cummings. I'm with Janelle Title, and we're going to be talking about goal setting for 2026. I can't believe we're in 2026. It's insane that it went
Unbelievable.
so fast. I have with me today Jane Bolin. She's an attorney with Peyton Bolin and also a partner of mine. And she is amazing at setting goals. She's driven. She knows how to, stay on track and really just plan everything, plan her day, plan her life. So I feel like Jane is the most perfect person to talk about goal setting and get us revved up and pumped for this year. So,
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. I super appreciate it.
you bet.
I saw who's participating right now, and I know we also have a feed. So the folks that are on the webinar, thank you for coming. And those that will be on the feed watching this, we're glad you're here. So 2026, I am also surprised we're 8 days in, but here's the deal. It's a great time at the beginning of the year to look at what it is you want to create. Because if you're not creating it, it's being created for you. I'll let
Wow.
that sink in for a second, right? If you're not creating your life, it's being created for you, which means you're at the effect of things. And so something I really live by is I'm always the creator of my reality. And goals are a huge part of it. And here's the thing. I actually just got back today from Kansas City. I did a strategic summit with a pretty large $20 million company. And they do goal setting differently, right? So there's lots of different ways to do goal setting. And there's no right way, no wrong way. But what I'm going to share today is really my personal methodology.
Okay.
You can definitely take it a step further, but what I'm going to share is not original. It's not like it's my idea, right? I've got years of experience, 50, call myself out, years of experience in doing this. But goals can be the resolution you never even touch again, or it can be something where you're like, wow, goals really excite me. So let's go ahead and get started. This is, it's conversational, me and Jason talking back and forth, but if you've got questions as we go, definitely pop them up in the Q&A. Jason will see that. We'll talk about it. And for those that are watching after the fact, shoot us an email, drop us a DM, whatever it is. We're happy to share. So let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. No technical difficulties there. Can you see it, Jason?
Now I can. Yes.
Awesome. Cool.
Perfect.
So it's just that opening screen. Like there we are, preparing for success in 2026. So, oops. Yes, I can do this. There we go. So where do we start? We got to get real.
Hmm.
So let's get real. So if you try to create goals from the past, you are literally painting over rust in some ways, right? Especially if you didn't reach your goals. And so I was thinking about just doing a blank page, but most of this page is blank to start because that's where you got to start. You got to start with blank page, but how do you get to the blank? Well, you got to get
Hmm.
real about what didn't work first. Now, in this world that we live in, everyone is in, be positive and feel good. And that's great. But you can't feel good unless you can feel the other side. So the more you can feel one side, the more you can feel the other. It's duality of nature. So for me, everything's like get real and look at both sides. So goals, you hate them. There's part of you that hates them.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? I actually don't want goals. I can call that a quota. I can feel angry about it. Right, Jason? I mean, come
Yeah.
on, you're not happy when
Absolutely.
I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, Jason, here's your goal. You're like, not like, yeah, I
Nope.
love my goal. Or you can love them, right? Because attitude is everything.
Yeah.
You can love them. And then you can think, oh yeah, you know what? These are super easy to create. I can do it. And then the other side, you're like, wait a second, they're hard to create. Right.
Yeah.
So it can
Yeah.
always be this like duality. And I think this is what I really want to make sure everyone gets from this part is like everything's dual in nature. You believe you can manifest, you're like, yes, I can. And then you're like, manifesting is BS. Okay. It doesn't actually, what are you talking about? Right. You can reach your goals and you can never reach them.
Mm. That's
Right.
interesting.
There's a
Yeah.
lot. I think here's the thing. Goals, right? If we make them like it's a stick, it's not very interesting. You make it like it's a carrot, it's way more interesting. And
Mm.
you know what? Sometimes you reach your goals and it doesn't look the way you thought it would look. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Jason?
I can. Yeah. I can feel that. I can see that.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, when we go hard goals and we say, it's this particular number, yeah, no, numbers don't lie, right? I mean, the scoreboard is the scoreboard.
Right.
But sometimes the scoreboard shows you that and you're like, okay, I didn't reach the goal. I didn't win the championship. I didn't get the numbers. Are you just gonna like quit and give up? Or are you going to say,
No.
you know what? What
Yes.
did I learn from this? What did I need? Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe I do. What am I going to learn from this? I mean, the number one example, Jason, for me on this one is like, what if as a baby you just were like, yeah, you know what? I can't walk,
Mm, mm.
right? What do
Yeah.
babies do? They crawl, they get up, they fall down. They crawl, they get up, they fall down. They fall down, they get up, they fall down. It's
Yeah.
the same thing, folks. I mean, babies are very wise in that way, right? There's nothing in the way for them because they're not sitting in the past. So one of the beliefs that a lot of us have is it takes a lot of hard work to get goals. And then you have this belief, I never work hard enough,
Mm.
right? So think
Yeah.
about it.
I feel
I mean,
that one.
yeah, I put these on here because it's true. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying rah rah, I love every goal I've ever had, but I can also see the real value in being like, yeah, there's a scoreboard. I got it. You know?
Yeah.
So just getting real, noticing what you feel about it is key. And why is that? Well, this is my interpretation, Jason. So again, for everyone listening, it's like you can take it or leave it, but my belief is your beliefs create your reality. If you believe something, it's going to be very real for you. The very easy analogy for me on this is if you put on blue sunglasses or yellow sunglasses or rose sunglasses, the world looks that color,
True. Yeah.
right? How about the last time you were looking to buy a new car? You're like, hey, I want that car. And all of a sudden, everyone's got that car,
Yeah. Right. Because he goes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
People have these examples all the time, but they don't correlate it to a very, what I consider a truth, which is your beliefs create your reality. What you believe is what you're going to see. So I'm okay with people not agreeing with me, but I'd have you say, just take a look at it because most people think beliefs come from what happened to them or someone they know. Like it is an experience. Well, my beliefs come from my experiences, or I was told something about experience, or I learned something, or I took a course, I read a book, I heard a podcast. Jane told me that, Jason told me that. But it's all in what you know. So beliefs are in a realm, right? Like having a belief, like you got to have a bit of, oh, I'm willing to go into what doesn't feel like I know it. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you feeling as I say this to you right now, Jason?
Well, I'm feeling like it's also the fear of the unknown because your beliefs are your beliefs, and if there's something that essentially you don't know and you don't believe it, I mean, how are you supposed to proceed?
Yeah, right. So it's so great because I use that toddler example, like learning to
Right.
walk babies. From a very young age, we're taught it's a linear world, like right, A equals B, this is what you learn, and things move, right? And then you're taught things are things, like this is a glass. Got it. Well, is it? I don't know. In my world, I'm like, we have a belief that this is a glass. There's water in it right now. That's what I'm believing. But, take yourself out of that a little bit and notice that the beliefs are always tied to what you know. So it's exactly what you said. Be in the unknown. Maybe take this on for a bit. And maybe some of you are like, yeah, no, I get it. My beliefs create my reality. Got it. So if you do believe that, awesome. If you don't, just notice. Just notice. And then this is what I say about that. Only you can decide what you believe. And yes, people are indoctrinated. Yes, people learn things, but ultimately it's your choice at all times. So if you had choice, free will to decide what you believe beyond what you know, what if that was the case?
Hmm.
Right? So
Yeah.
people have what I would call faith, right? Like they talk about it, and of course that feels religious when I use the word faith, and it is because it's a belief in something that you cannot prove until you
Right.
can, until you know it, till it's innate,
Hmm.
and Another way of defining faith is having belief on the inside until it shows up on the outside. And so when
Mm,
people ask me, Jason, and you've asked me, like, how do you do this? Like, how'd you just get off the plane and do the thing and come
yeah.
here? And I'm feeling great and I got full of energy. Well, it's because I got a lot of beliefs about my energy level. Honestly, I have a lot of beliefs that I've got like endless energy. You want to have more energy? Why don't you start looking at what your beliefs are about it? If you
Mm,
believe that you're going to be tired, you are going to be tired, you know?
yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I get up some mornings, I'm like, I'm gonna be tired today. And I
Yeah,
am.
welcome. You're going to be tired and you can get up and say, I'm going to have a bad day and it's going to be not a great day.
Yeah.
Now, the toughest thing on all of this is really choosing to believe. You know, it's like you may get up and not feel good. It doesn't mean I don't feel good sometimes. It doesn't
Mm,
mean that I can't even sit back right now and be like, you know what, yeah, I feel a little tired because I did get up at 3 in the morning to get on a flight, to get back by 12:30, to be ready for this webinar. I could be like, yeah, I can feel that, but I'm not gonna let that impact me. Like, I have a choice. I've got a lot of energy. I feel good.
yeah.
But this idea around choice and belief is critical when you're creating your goals. This is why I'm setting it up this way.
Okay.
So, what I'm going to say to everybody that's on this is, or listening to it, is choose to believe now that this short conversation, this webinar will support you in creating and achieving your goals. It's your decision, 100%.
Mm,
Even this, right? Like normally we listen to a webinar or we listen to a podcast and we're like, I'm just listening to it and like want to osmosis it and it's going to just come to me. No, no, no. You choose that it's going to be useful. It's going to be useful. I'm going to take something out of it. I mean, this is how I approach everything. Does this make sense? Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
it's a great way
100%
to
I
look at it.
choose. Yeah, I choose. I'm going to believe this. So I'm saying to you now, you know, you may thought we were going to come and talk about SMART goals, right? Strategic, measurable, accountable, realistic, and time measured, which is, by the way, a great way to make goals. But it's also very like blah. And then you put it down on a piece of paper, and then you're like, why didn't I get that goal?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not to say you don't get them. I mean, you do. And again, I'm not saying SMART goal setup isn't great. It's great. But it's if you believe it's great, right?
Yeah.
Again, anytime. If you don't believe it, it's not going to show up. So if you don't think something's effective, guess what it's going to be? Not effective.
Yeah. And I think happens to a lot of people when they set goals. It's you set a goal, obviously, that you want to reach, but sometimes it feels like it's too far. And you already have that belief that you're not going to hit your goal. You know, and so
100%.
it's kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, and you know, obviously this is an important conversation, but things can go deeper. There's something what I call transparent beliefs. You don't even think you have them. You don't even know it's there. You're like, I really believe I can do it. And then it has happened. Well, that because there's a belief you're just not aware of yet. That's in my world. You're just not aware of it yet. So, yeah, beliefs are everything. So, the first step to creating goals is believing that you can, one, create them to align with what you want, and that you absolutely believe that they can happen. And so, how do you handle what's not that? We'll talk about that as we go through the steps. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my lifetimes of experience, and I'm just giving you a very practical, step-by-step guide to create goals. You definitely can take this deeper. We can take it wider. I can overlay some fun, business jargon on this. We could take it all kinds of places. But I broke this down in just some simple terms because I think this is what really makes a difference. So
Okay.
I have all four steps on the first one, and that's okay, but we're going to go one by one. So the first thing is getting real about what didn't happen last year.
Mm,
Even if your goal is different, I think you need to be real about what didn't happen, which is why I was like, let's start with being real about how
yeah.
we actually feel about goals. So Jason, I'm just totally putting you on the spot.
I knew
What
you
did
were going to do this.
what what didn't happen last year that you just want to get real about?
I didn't hit any of my goals last year. I have quarterly goals, and then I have an annual goal, and I didn't hit any of them last year. So
Okay, awesome. I appreciate your honesty on that. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to just say that to yourself. Like, and how do you feel right now as you're
Um,
experiencing that?
I feel differently today than I did last week.
Sure.
So if I put myself back in that space, I felt defeated. I felt like I just kind of failed myself. I didn't, you know, I was doing enough, but I didn't reach any of the goals that I had set out.
Yeah,
So
fair
I felt
enough.
defeated.
Felt defeated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So step one and two, right? This like, let's be real and let's actually allow yourself to experience it. Now, obviously, we're on a recorded webinar, so I'm not going to ask you to go screaming and punching and crying, right? But what I'm going to say to everybody that's listening is like, look, to allow yourself to experience it is not to think about it. It is not to be like, I'm going to let the itty bitty shitty committee tell me how terrible I am because I didn't make my goals. It's actually like, wow, I can feel loss. I can feel sadness and allow yourself to actually feel that. Now, how you do that is up to you in the privacy of your own home. But you can just allow yourself to cry. You can allow yourself to be angry that you didn't hit it. You can allow yourself to shout and scream. You can allow yourself. And if you feel like, wow, I don't feel anything, Jane, like, what are you talking about? Numbness is a feeling too.
Huh.
I'm totally checked out. I'm numb. Like I can't even feel. Like, can you believe I can't feel? And noticing it, aware of what it is. And if you're really struggling with this in the very beginning, right, one and two, just write it down. Put your pen to a piece of paper and start writing out, like, okay, this is how I feel. Like, this is what didn't happen, what it meant to me. You just allow yourself to go what we would call stream of consciousness, right? Just roll it out. But this is really important. You don't want to skip over this, and mostly people do want to skip over this, which is why they don't like this approach to goals because they don't want to feel not
They don't
good.
want to feel it. Yeah.
Right. But guess what's on the other side of not good? Awesome is what's on the other side of not good. How do you get through the night how do you get through the night? You know the day is coming. How do you get through the day? Well, you know the night is coming. There's
Yeah.
always going to be day and night. Like this is always happening. So getting real is so important and allowing yourself to feel the feelings, not the words, the feelings. And the feelings are literally in the body. And you might cry and things happen, okay? So from there, once you've done that on this very basic level, but once you've done that, then you can be like, all right, feel more clear. Like, all right, it's kind of like when you watch a sad movie, had a good cry, and then you're like, well, I feel pretty good. Kind of the same thing, right?
You do. Yeah. Yeah.
So from there, I want you to then go to the next step, which is imagine what it is you want to accomplish this year. I'm not asking for your number. What do you want to accomplish? So, Jason, just right now, close your eyes here on the recorded webinar. Close your eyes, and I'm going to do the same. And I'm just going to imagine, like, what is it I want to accomplish this year? Yeah. And you just start to imagine it. What came to your imagination, Jason?
Um, First thing was exceeding the goals that I set for this year.
Yeah. So,
Exceeding.
so well, exceeding. So what does that look
Exceeding.
like? Like what's that? What does that look like? Exceeding that. What does that look like for you? Are you like crushing it? What does crushing it look like? What is
Yeah,
that?
crushing it. It's I don't know how to describe what it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel it. There's a
But you could
feeling
feel it. Okay,
I can
good. You could
feel.
feel it. You could imagine it. Like, the creativity, like we've damped out of all children, unfortunately, but to daydream is fantastic. So like that daydreaming, like, ooh, right? But deliberately, not just because the mind's going off, deliberately. So like for me, I'm imagining like fit, light, flexible, like I look like a ballerina, which I'm never gonna look like a ballerina. But like I'm imagining this like, I just feel really good in my body is what I'm imagining.
Mm.
And then the next part is critical. So feel this as if it's happening now. So So one, you felt it like, all right, I've
That's what
exceeded
yeah.
my goals. Like
Yeah.
I'm imagining you like beyond, crossing the line here,
Yeah.
like a race or something, like you're through the line. And I'm imagining myself evidently like a ballerina. But I have this, but it's a feeling, and then it's like it's happening now. So just give yourself a pause. I like to close my eyes and really feel it's now.
Mm.
Like I'm already
Yeah.
those things. What's happening as I say that, or as you're experiencing that?
I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling like I can't believe I did this. So it's like an elation, I guess.
Inhalation, right? But it
It's
doesn't
yeah.
feel. It feels real right
It feels
now.
real. It feels like yeah, like it's already happened. It does.
That bang, bingo, bango in my world. Okay, bingo, bango. Because if you can imagine it, if you can fully feel it, then you've created it in your reality. It is now real in your consciousness. So, you know who talked about this? Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich, one of the very first seminal sort of like business meets transformation books. And Napoleon Hill talked about having a burning desire for something and imagining it as real now. Now, other folks have taken that. I'm trying to think. Jennifer Grace, who we've had on,
Mhm.
uh, Wayne Dyer definitely talked about it in this way. But it's like being the writer and director of your life. Like we are projection machines. Like I am writing the movie. So if you're in the movie, can you be in the movie? And if anyone's ever acted, ever done any acting, that's what we're paying them for, is for them to embody something as real now, even if it's not real. And
Yeah.
this like screws with the head, right? So I'll give you a cool example of this. Anthony Hopkins was in Joe Black. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember Brad Pitt, so fabulous, such a good movie. And there's a scene where he has a heart attack. That was a one take scene.
Oh wow.
Anthony Hopkins
Oh,
went on record and said, if I do that, I could only do it once, because if I did it again, I would have had a heart attack.
oh,
Right. So again,
wow.
embodying the feeling as if it is real now, it does create that. And like he tapped into that and was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. Like that was one take, people, right? So I share all of that because, this might feel a little frou-frou, but it's really not. It's like this is how things happen. This is how you create the vibration. And so feel it as if it's happening now, critical. Now we'll take it to the next step. So decide what it looks like if you accomplish this, okay? And I did put this in there, that little, yes, you can do this for many different goals or many different areas of your life. Yeah, of course, right? This is not just a one goal, you can use it in any area you want, but decide what it looks like. And when I say that, that's where I asked you, what's the tangible result? So you feel like you're going beyond your goals, Jason. So what's
Yeah.
the actual tangible result? What's our scoreboard? What's measurable about that?
Um, the number of transactions that I have come in each month.
Okay, got
Every
it.
other quarter. I mean, yeah. So just keeping track of my numbers
Right.
and the new agents that I bring in. Yeah.
Okay, so let's pretend, I'm going to be ridiculous. Let's pretend it's
Okay.
100 and a quarter, right? Because we all know that it's ridiculous
Yeah.
in this market, right? So if it's 100 and a quarter was your goal, then exceeding it might be 101,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
So you would put that in a measurable outcome. Hey, guess what? My actual goal is 101. And you know what? I'm going to achieve that by April 1st, because that's the date which I'm going to accomplish it. And then what I'm going to tell you is put that in your calendar like it's an event.
Oh,
Like you're going somewhere or doing something or going on vacation. I assume most of the professionals on this call use their calendar, because I don't know how we don't not use a calendar, but put it in your calendar as an event. It's like, okay, guess what, guys? April 1st. It's not April Fool's. It's like April I won, number one, boom, end of the quarter. I'm at 101.
it's like envisioning it. It's
Yeah, well, it's
see,
taking the feeling and actually saying this is what's tangible in the world. Now, this doesn't, that's the big overarching goal, but then there's more. So let me tell you about that. So you look at what the daily or weekly actions are required to get that result.
mm,
So you start to feel that, like, what are those actual, what could I do to get to that goal? Because now what normally people do with goals is they do this like, well, if I do this small goal, I'll get this next goal. So it's going to be five or, 25 transactions and 25 transactions and 25 transactions versus, my goal is this, I'm crushing it. I'm exceeding. And what it actually looks like is 101. So what are the things that I need to do to get me there? So now we're working backwards instead of working toward.
I
Does this
like
make
that.
sense? So we're not,
Yeah.
and we're always taught you work towards the goal. I mean, that's
Right.
who wasn't taught that, right? But I'm telling you, like, no, set the goal, work backwards, and then actually use your calendar to capture those times with the actual time to accomplish it in. Now, this is key with the actual time to accomplish it. So the first thing I told you to do is put it in as an event, the actual
Yeah.
goal, right? It's an event.
Yeah.
But the things that you need to do to get there, those are incremental steps. 100%. So you need to capture that. And I do believe it is the time it is to do it. So if you just create it, I love to-do lists in many ways. And I like top five lists on a daily basis. But at the same time, if you really start to intuit, like, yeah, these are the things I'm going to need to do to get there. Cause it's not just like, there's some things that have to happen.
Right. Of course.
If I'm wanting to feel fit and flexible, I can't just be like, yeah, and I'm going to go to the buffet. No, that's not going to work. I'm going to need to look at, well, on a daily basis, I'm going to track what I'm eating. Hey, maybe I'm just like not going to drink and I'm going to put that down. Right?
Or maybe it's meal prepping or
Exactly. Which gives me the time period. Exactly,
right.
Jason. Right? That I'm actually going to use this time to meal prep, or I might just use this time, get this, to just feel into my goal.
Oh,
Because the more I feel it, the more it actually creates. But I think the key here, and this is really what I wanted you to get, is capture it with the actual time to accomplish it. So if you say you're going to make 100 calls in a week, don't put that down. Put down, what is that, 15 a day or something, right?
yeah.
And actually put it down like, hey, I'm going to, and maybe you split it up. I'm doing 5 and 5, which by the way, I'm doing 100 kettlebell swings is something I'm added to my list. And I don't do that like, no, I do freaking 10 at a time, 20 at a time, and I add them up all day long, small increments.
I like that. I like that because it can be daunting when you're in sales to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to make this many calls. It gets to be a lot.
100%, a hundred
So
percent.
allowing yourself to break it up into small increments. I like it.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Break it up. It's really great. And I have, if you can hear it, I'm combining a lot of different concepts here, but they're all things that even if you take away one thing from this, like, you know what, I'm going to actually calendar what it is I'm doing. You won on this webinar. If you got out of this webinar so far, like, oh, I just need to feel it. Like, I don't actually feel my goal. That's a win, right?
Mhm.
So I've brought together a lot of the different things because I've taught productivity and performance, and obviously I study human consciousness. So like I've brought this all together in a way that I think is actually manageable for our clients and our friends who are in real estate, like versus the Franklin Covey planner. Like, hey, what if you just tried this little actually 7-step process? So here's one more thing. Ready? 7 steps. Critical last step. Go back to the feeling you had when you were imagining the results, and it says imaging, it should be imagining, and create a statement that reflects that feeling. So Jason, let's example this. So you are crushing your goals, you're exceeding them, is actually the word you used. I'm exceeding
Yeah.
my goals.
I'm exceeding
So
my goals.
what are you feeling when you're exceeding your goals?
I feel accomplished.
Yeah.
I think accomplished is the biggest one. I feel successful. I feel like
Okay.
I'm good at what I do. I can do this.
I love it. So
Yeah.
it can be all of that. I am accomplished and successful. I am good at what I do.
Yeah.
Right? And give it some freaking passion. I am accomplished and successful. I am good at what I do. Now, what you guys don't know is that all day long, I'm talking to myself in this way. All day long. If I have, let's call it free time over here, like there's nothing going on, then I'm like, I am powerful and successful. I feel good in my body. I love what I'm doing. And this keeps the energy level at a super high vibe. But also this next part, it's sort of the trick. Put it in your calendar, like literally in your calendar as a reminder, and have it pop up on your phone. You can do that, like notes in your phone.
Yeah.
You can put on the background of your phone, but take that statement and put it there and get it in a place that you will remind you constantly the feeling you want to create, that you do create, that you create, period.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's actually a great idea. So if any of you
Yeah.
see me out and about and you see the background of my phone, don't make fun of me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, go into my car and look at my sticky notes. And there's nothing, this is what intentions are all about. It's all about, by the way, it's not just like once, like I feel good. Come on. Like you repeat it and you obsess on it and you feel it and you keep going at it.
Mm.
And a lot of this feels, in some ways when I first started discovering this for myself, it was like this feels so childish and mature. I'm like, but this is exactly, and wow, it's completely changed my life. Completely changed my life. So goals can be awesome, right? Because I say, you've heard me say this, attitude determines your altitude. But how do you shift your attitude? Well, when you got a bad attitude, you got to say to yourself, oh, I got some beliefs.
Mm.
Let me be real about that. I don't feel so good. And then you can't let it run you. You've got to say, all right, hold on a second. I'm choosing differently. I am choosing differently, and that's how that's going to go.
Yeah.
It's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you. Now, there's all kinds of ways to do this work. And I wanted to keep this short and sweet. And I think we've managed to do that here. But we are going to take it to the next level. And that is at the vision board session, because vision boards are
Yes.
awesome and super fun. But to me, if you don't have a vision board without actually having done what we talked about, steps 1 and 2, getting real, right? And not, and just being very clear, like, okay, yeah. And then you can start to create, then absolutely, vision boards are awesome. So Jason, you're going to send an invite to everybody, which will be fun. We're going to do it in person in the
Yep.
morning, right?
Yes, it's going to be from 10 to 12:30.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm
And
excited
we'll
about it.
order some lunch. We'll do that kind of thing. And you don't have to do it the whole time. If you can only come for a little bit and you just want to whip out a vision board, no problem.
Yeah.
But the benefit of doing it with other people is, one, we've got different magazines than you do. And two, uh you share your vision with us, right? And the more people that you share with and you're excited about it
Yeah,
it changes the trajectory of things.
absolutely. It's that synergy that,
100%.
yeah.
So I'm just going to go ahead and shut off my slides. I did put on there, if you want to reach out to me, feel free to do that. And I just love I had a chance to share this, and I hope that people get value out of it. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. But how are you feeling right now, Jason? I mean, we just had, this
Yeah.
kind of feels like one of our rah-rah sales times.
Yeah, it
Um,
does. I'll just share real quick. I mean, we set goals earlier this week on Monday, and
yeah.
I set goals, and then Jane and the owners of the company, they set goals for me, and their goals were much higher than my goals, and it immediately hit me in the gut. It was like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like these goals. But you know what? By yesterday, I felt so good about my goals, about this new goal. I feel like I can actually do this. I can
Oh,
attain
yeah.
this. And because I realized that it's me. I'm the one that has to change my attitude about it. Believing that I can't do it isn't going to get me there. So hearing you say all this today, I'm like, man.
And now you know why I was so jazzed up at our call, because look, what's great about having partnerships that stretch us is we get stretched. We
Mhm.
we exceed and we build confidence that way.
Yeah.
We really do. We build confidence. I mean, we don't set goals to lose. I'm not playing the game to lose. I'm playing to win. And I
Yeah.
want you to win, and I want everybody in our space to win.
Absolutely.
So I feel like, I feel really good about this. I'm super pumped, and now I'm really excited that I've now openly told everybody what my goal is this year, which is like feeling so good. I want to look like a different person, like physically, by next year. But and I'm break it down. But let's just see. Does anybody who's on, anyone got any questions? I wish we could take them off the webinar thing, but
I
it's
know. I
all
wish
good.
too.
If you don't, we just want to thank you for your time and reach out to us. And we love you all. And let's go
Yes.
crush it together, because real estate, it's the only thing that's never going away, people. It's always going to be good when
Always.
you decide it's going to be good.
All
All
right.
right.
Thanks, Jane. Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
Jason.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, I got a question. Hold on.
Oh, hold on.
That was amazing. Oh, that
Oh,
was sweet.
oh,
Thanks, Valentina. All right, you guys. Talk
all right.
soon. Bye.
Bye.